Hello, everyone. Why is that not wanting to cover? Come on. I have it the same spot. There we go. Yeah. No, the other side. But anyways. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gems of War campaign 17, final week of the campaign. Week 10, day 1. So today, of course, final week of the campaign, we have ourselves the new troop coming in, which we technically already had, the King Storm Guard. Unfortunately, his main gimmick, of course, creating 2 yellow lightning gems per turn. It is currently impossible to have more than 1 copy of them. So unfortunately, until we get 2 or 3 when, you know, it becomes available through everyone, likely through Soulforge, or the next Wild Plains event. Not this one, you can't get it in this one, but next Wild Plains event, he will be in drop table at a 1 in 4 chance for Mythic. So about 1 in 4,000 event keys, give or take a little. But also, the easier way of getting him is obviously diamonds. 4,000 diamonds each whenever he rotates around. I'm not sure where we are on the current Mythic cycle. So it could be at least a good couple months, probably like really early summer, really late spring. He'll probably be available in Soulforge. I don't think or actually we do know. I haven't checked in a while though where the current rotation for the Mythics are, but he will be back around, of course. But yeah, we have this guy. I did have one faction team that ended up using him, or Underspire, I mean, so maybe we'll use that some. Oh, then again, we're probably not touching Underspire today, but we messed with it a lot last Monday, and I do kind of want to cover a video for him probably tomorrow. Unfortunately, some of the better teams that will likely be used with that use 2 or 3 of him, we obviously cannot show, but you know, you can still show the single teams with him. But anyways, but similar to Takshaka, it's not going to be as good running 1 compared to like 2 or 3. Anything that ever has that gem spawn kind of mechanic, it's way better to have more of them. Like Eye of Argris, you'd want to have 3 or 4. The Takshaka that we just got, obviously you want to run 2 or 3. That troop is no different. You'd want to run 2 or 3 on a team. Running 1 isn't quite the same as running multiple, unfortunately. But yeah, he's okay. He's basically just alternative catches the bull that isn't completely useless in the current state of the game. But it's still relatively bad compared to other options, but not horrifically bad. Anyways, so what should we go do? Obviously, we gotta go do the Doom event. Let's go start there, actually. We got a lot of Doom to go do. I probably shouldn't go that high of a team yet. Honestly, I might be going to cheaper team first. Because I kind of just want things to hit all enemies. Let me grab this first and just go just from there. I don't want to run this. Also, I just forgot. I didn't even show this with Mech Hero class when I was showing it for the video. I meant to. But I think I copy-pasted from the other one and then didn't bother changing the team. Because, of course, this is supposed to be ran with Mech Hero. Oh, so that reminds me. Is my guild scouted? Good job, guild. We're scouted up to 16. I highly doubt we're going that far today, so perfect. Now we got room number 4. I don't know. What team do you want to run? There should be no penalty in this mode for deaths. It only matters if we win and if we use the Doom thing on the Doom fight. The Doom weapon. Oh, we have access to Guard. I could always run the other bomb bot called Guard's Avatar. Oh, wait, if we have access to Brown, I can literally just go Circle and Hadley build. We're back. It happened again. I think that's the team. What would we run for a better mana accumulator there? Let's see. What's in power? You do blue, purple. Is that it? Really? I guess Soothsayer, but that's not gonna be enough. Yeah, we kind of have to run it this way, I guess. If we want to run guard build, is that even worth it then? Because it basically feeds only on yellow. Banner can actually stay as is, oddly enough. Don't think we can change anything else. We can technically change to a knight so it gets more bonus, but I'd rather have Brown Storm. Yeah, I think we just run something like this. Angry Mob Guard, Cirquine Hadley, Doomed Spade until it stops 1-shotting. Or 2-shotting. I think that's all we need for now. But anyways, hello everyone! Hope you guys have been having a wonderful start of your week. Hello, Ricardo. Hello, Daddy Shark. Hello, Logic Slayer. Hello, Mark. Hello, Sonny. Hello, yeah. Hello, Bill. Hello, Ricardo. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Genki. Hello, Supernova. Hello, Chad. Hello, Sushi Ninja. Hello, Isabel. And, oh yeah, if anyone wants to join the guild, we still have a spot left. Let us know. Isabel can help get you in. Hello, Chad. Hello, Sonny. And hello, Reness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, good to go. Let's go take our mana that we need. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have enchant. Oh, it feels so nice having enchant. I miss not having enchant for Underspire. Luckily, this week's Underspire is pretty free. Just run the Brown Doom up and you're good to go. So luckily, we finally have an Underspire that isn't horrifically bad like the last few weeks. The last week wasn't that bad, but the 2 prior to that were really, really bad. Let's see. Not sure. Also, hello, Abek. Welcome. Not sure if it's your type of game, but have you checked out Unicorn Overlord? I've seen ads for it. It seemed okay. The last game that we played like that was kind of in that kind of style was Triangle Strategy, and that was pretty good. That's under like the really RPG-like RPG category, which I don't play as often, but I do play them. Yeah, it's been a good like almost 2 years now, because wasn't Triangle Strategy 2 years ago? I don't think it was last year. Like Triangle Strategy 2 years ago was the last time we played like a super standard RPG-like RPG on the channel. I might again at some point, but I don't think I would be doing it for the Unicorn one. Actually, I think if we do get around to one in the near future, I kind of want to do it for Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. They released the sequel last year, and I still haven't even played the first one, or the second one, of course, because I wanted to play the first one first. It's just doing that, I think it's like 150 hours or something, so... I just keep putting it off because it's such a long time investment to go do. Actually, I don't know how long Octopath Traveler 2 is, but I know Octopath Traveler 1 was pretty high up there. And I would assume the sequel would be similar length. I almost feel like putting Guard's Avatar in first slot. That goes against the fact that if he loses all his armor, he does like 0 damage, but you can get it going quick enough. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I haven't gotten around to Octopath Traveler. It's not that I'm not interested in them. It's just, it's such a long time investment if we go play both games. Even just the basic completion. And if we wanted to go more completion stuff, even more so. Like, it's a really long game. I will get around to it at some point, though. Oh, this is the right floor, right? Yeah, it is. 2 and 4. And of course, for any of you that don't know Tower of Doom, basically just report back all the better rooms to your guild. Which ones are is really dependent on your guild. But some of the better ones are Heroisms, Fireballs, Luckies, which give you... actually, I should probably say what the other ones do too. But Fireball basically makes it so you do a room, but then one room later becomes easier. So you're basically doing an easier room in order to not have to do a harder room. Heroisms are really good. It basically allows you to full clear an entire floor, though do keep in mind it does not take all the rewards from the side rooms. So if there are any important side rewards, you do want to go for those first. Otherwise, you just click at the end, click your heroism, and boom, you're done. Other ones that are pretty good are Lucky, which count for 2 Doom kills, as well as, what else? Haste, which counts as 1 sigil, which seems like it's not doing anything because it costs 1 sigil to do a fight. However, if you take enough of these, I normally skip these, but if you do take enough of these, they essentially will give you 2 sigils because you're moving yourself closer to getting a Vow Raven. So it's kind of like a fireball, except delayed gratification fireball. Is the easiest way to put it. It just gives you more sigils if you want to go like a cheaper mount, or if you just want to go further. And it's pretty much all the good ones. Oh yeah, and power, which gives you a bunch of extra stats. So it does have a diminishing return at a certain point where it's not as good to go for, but I still tend to go for it the whole time, just for the extra stats across the guild. We don't get as much stats in this game mode compared to some other locations, but we're getting like 10 all right now. That's not too bad. That being said, let me go switch to armor. Armor, because we're going to need that for this, for sure. Anything else we need? Back to Tower of Doom. Yeah, we'll keep going until we run out of sigils, might as well. And then we'll hand out a code. Where are we at? We are at 2. No, we were at 3. I was looking at the 2 of 4. But anyways, let's keep moving. Alright, what do we want here? We'll take our brown. Oh, he mana drained the one I actually need mana in. Out of everything he could have drained, that was the most consequential one, unfortunately. As long as this team's still one-shotting, possibly even two-shotting, we're going to stick with it for now. Once it can't really get a two-shot, we definitely have to go retire it, though. But for now, it's doing what it needs to do. So, hello, Jonian. Welcome, welcome. There's our Val Raven. Amongst all the bats, it's trying to blend in. This cycle 26 was 26 weeks, and it ended a few weeks ago. So it could be coming in 4 to 6 weeks. Oh! That's not too bad then. Anyway, I might only have to wait about 2 months, a month or two for the next mythic. So hello, Misty! Welcome, welcome. It's not that long at all then. Though, of course, it could happen all the way at the other end of the list. Like, just because the cycle is resetting doesn't mean it's immediately going to show up. Like, it can, but it doesn't mean it will. Oh, come on, every battle. What's with all the mana drains all of a sudden? First it was... Excuse me. First it was the Spirit Fox, and then we got the Manticore. Gosh, hope that wasn't too loud. Tried to cover in time. Oh, I got 4 and 2. I'm not sure why. I've sneezed like 4 times today. It might be seasonal allergies or something. It's finally spring. Like proper spring. I just cannot stop sneezing today. We're skipping the haste, of course. They're good, but they're not that good. Generally, with how we play it each week, if you buy tier 4 and you don't have to scout at all for your guild, which, based on when we stream, normally our guild has it completely covered. Or sometimes we have to scout, but it's very rare. But if you buy tier 4 enough to get the weapon and you don't need to scout at all, you will guarantee have enough sigils without taking a single Val Raven to make it all the way to the end, assuming your guild has it scouted. Which is why I generally don't go for the haste. They are nice, but they're not generally that needed. Like, it's good to know where they are, but they're probably one of the more optional rooms out there. That and power once your guild has like 15 plus all stats. Because then they start to have such absurdly high diminishing return at that point. What was I doing? We did that, we did that. Is that good? Alright, we're good to go. Onwards! Oh good, we don't even need to do anything else. I almost feel like just putting a super low mana cost troop in first slot and just have it barely block him. Alright, we got floor number 7 here for 2 and a 3. Trying to think of if we should go vertical on it or not. But the color we would have verticalized, we don't need. Ice crystals. Is that what they're calling ice cubes these days? Actually, that's something I haven't used in a drink in a very long time. Ice cubes. I have an ice cube tray, I just never use it. Alright, we good together? Yep, that's all we need. Onwards. Hello, Michael! Heard there, let's see. Heard this all the way across YouTube in game. Welcome, welcome. Oh, is that from the sneeze? Yeah, it might have been a little loud. I tried to cover up my mouth. Like I always do. It was like towards the mic. Actually, I don't have anything that does that. I don't have like a button I can press to like insta-mute my mic without physically like pressing it on the mic. Like I don't have a hotkey on my keyboard or something that just like mutes it. I have 2 ways of muting it. I can click this and then we're muted. Right there, we're muted. And I can also click the button right there on this and that would also mute it. But it's in a really awkward position, and you can't click it with my nose. That'd be too hard. I don't think I could press it in hard enough. Because it's one of those buttons where it's like made so you can't accidentally like click it. Like you really have to click it down for it to go. We need number 5 here. That's hello, Bill. Welcome, welcome. Alright, we good to go? We did that, we did that. On to our next floor. Should be able to make it to, like, what, 15? That's probably why we're scouted up to about 16 right now. Would make sense. Because that's about probably as far as the sigils will get you if you go for all haste along the way. You'd probably get 2 extra Val Ravens, which could be 4 extra fights, which is about 1 extra floor. So we should be able to make it to, like, 14, 15. Yeah, this brown doom weapon is insane. All of them are. Not just this one. We only have it for 2 colors so far, though, purple and brown. They're not like the strongest weapons in the game, but they are really, really solid. And definitely really good for categories like this when you're forced to use a pure color team anyways. Also, it's kind of funny, I didn't even notice it until now. We actually have double tap. Because Circle and Hadley also has double tap, same as our weapon. Circle and Hadley's actually a surprisingly good cleanup troop. Not only does he have double tap when there's only 1 left, but of course he has double convert into skull spam. Surprisingly good counter to that. Up 3. I was almost about to go take the room. This is why you should always, when telling your guild what rooms to do, because we have it set up in this format, you should always put the unlock scroll last. The reason for this is it makes sure you can't accidentally misclick onto the final room. What I almost just did was try to do the final room, which would have skipped any of the other good rooms. But because each one of our layouts is always based on unlock last, it's actually impossible to skip a good room. There's the reason why we actually have it denoted in that way, even if it makes the number order all weird. I'll catch you later, Michael. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, we don't have anything we can do there. Looks like we're at double cast category. Once we get to triple, we're definitely bailing on this team for, probably want to just focus entirely on around the weapon. Maybe even throw an Iron Gut in there. You can't devour the Doom at the end, but you can gain a bunch of stats from everything else around, and then hit it with skulls. Which is about the same thing. You just can't insta-kill it outright. There's no way to curse it either, because it has that one immune trait. So there's 0 way to insta-kill or devour it. You can still whack it with really hard skulls. What's up, Mini? Welcome, welcome. Alright, nothing you do over there. We'll take that, Get our full AoE in there. Hopefully get a skull somewhere. I'm not even going to double check if we have a lineman. I just assume we're going to get something to happen. Alright, we're up to 10, so we'll just take the 3, skip the other one. It looks like we'll make it to like floor 14 or 15. Which is not too bad. That's actually slightly more than halfway there. Because even though the battles get more difficult, as long as you don't lose any of them, the distance that you are is, you know, how far you actually are. So getting to 13 is halfway through. The difficulty of the second half will be higher, but as long as you're not losing any fights, it's halfway. Oh, that was... oh, excuse me. Okay, that's the only one we needed. Well, we haven't seen a heroism yet. Are we even getting one? Sure hope so. I didn't even bother looking ahead. I'll go check right now, actually. Or are we actually getting one? Let's see, any heroisms? We use capital H for that one. No! We have not found a heroism. There's still a good chance it will be somewhere in between, but we just haven't reached it yet. Yeah, no heroism. That's unfortunate. And what floor are we on? 11? We're almost already halfway there. We'll take the power, 2 and 4. Actually, from our other power, we should have extra magic. So we have 10 to all stats right now, which is nice. So it's a little bit extra here and there. Basically 10 all. It's not as much as you get from Underspire, but you know, it adds up. Might be a small amount, but every little bit makes a difference. Speaking about small amount, this campaign is still one that has 0 magic gain. Feels weird being on the final week of a campaign. Because a lot of campaigns on the final week, it's like, oh, you have all this like extra amount of magic. Let's go do something else to utilize that magic. But we have no magic this time around. It's so weird. It's the first and only campaign that's been like that. Hopefully it'll make up for it with next campaign having like 8 or 10 magic by the end or something. But it just feels so weird having no magic. It actually is possible that we get a 10 magic campaign. We've already seen 5 into a category before. For example, this month or this season had five boosts into HP. And by that I'm referring to if we go to the campaign thingy. This artifact right here has 5 boosts into HP because it goes up by 5 each time. So it has 5, 3, 2 is what it was. 5 boosts into HP, 3 into attack, 2 into armor. And since they have done 5 into HP this time around, that means they can do 5 into another one in the future. We haven't seen this for, I don't think, any stat other than HP so far. But of course, the 2 pretty noteworthy ones would be armor for Wayne, Guards Avatar, Tesla, stuff like that. But more importantly, magic. It'd be plus 10 magic by the final week of a campaign. That is a pretty hefty amount of stats. Whereas the ones we got this time around are pretty pitiful. Anyways. Let's go finish out this Tower of Doom. We'll hand out a code and then go clear out everything else. Let's see, 2 and 4. But yeah, pretty much everything we have going on this week is all happening today. There's very little else coming out this week. The only kind of noteworthy thing is this Friday we're getting the 1,400th troop being added to the game. That's a cool little milestone, but troop itself is pretty average. And of course the campaign ending. The other big thing happening this week. I'm pretty sure most people have it done already. I keep forgetting you even have to do anything for it because the tasks get done automatically every single time. Which is kind of weird about campaign these days. Ever since they tweaked it, it's not even really considered a daily or a weekly anymore. It's literally just, do you play the game? And it just automatically gets done. It kind of reminds me of some games that have like free season passes if you do the whole pass. But Gems of War does it like the other way around. Their season pass isn't free, but if you just play the game, it literally automatically gets done. Like, there's a lot of other games where if you want to complete out the season pass or its equivalents of such, like, you're going to have to go out of your way for, you know, X amount of time and do things that you might not want to do within the game and other things like that. In Gems of War, it's kind of the other way around. You do have to pay for the pass each time, but you don't have to do anything to complete the pass. If you're just doing, like, anything at all, it'll just auto-complete, basically. Like, they're always such generic things that you could do absolutely anywheres. Like, let me go check the 3 I have right now. We have, kill red enemies, which obviously almost every fight has a red enemy. Match green gems, which unless you're literally running, like, Dust Devil insta-kill will happen pretty much every battle. Exploding them also counts, or destroying them. And win any battle, which, of course, if you're doing literally any fight, you are automatically doing. So, just 3 things, as always, that just automatically get done without doing anything beyond what you'd already be doing. And you have a whole week each time to complete them, too. Which even if you're only playing for like 10 minutes a day, I'm pretty sure that's still enough to complete them and some, like 2 or 3 times over. What am I doing? Oh yeah, we're finishing out Tower of Doom. We're not finishing, but you know. Finishing what we can for now. We got a 2 and a 4. Let's go take them. Both the top row ones. How long for next campaign? I don't think we have an official date. But unless there's an extra delay, which there shouldn't be, it should be 2 weeks from now. Not next week's Monday, but the following Monday. So it should be right around the corner. I don't think we have an extra gap in between. The only reason they generally do that more than a week is if they need a patch. But the patch we just had last week's Tuesday, already did that. So we should only have a 1 week downtime and then go straight into another campaign. Unless they do tweak it slightly, I'm not sure. But it's very likely to be 2 weeks from now. Not sure if we're getting anything good from it, or what the power gem even is. Yeah, a campaign like this is pretty chill. Like, before, we had to spend, like, half an hour to an hour and a half completing a campaign task every single week, which over the course of a month was over the course of a campaign was over 10 hours that you had to put into it. Approximately, give or take, depending on what you had. Like, anywhere from, like, 5 to 15 hours. Now you spend 0 seconds on it, basically. If you are actively playing the game to any degree, they will pretty much auto-complete on their own. For the most part. Whereas before, it was 5 to 15 hours per campaign. Now it is effectively 0 seconds per campaign. Alright, 13. We have a 2, a 3, and a 4. Which is one of the reasons I didn't mind them adding, like, a few other dailies. Because the few dailies that they've added in the last year, even just, like, the one we got the most recent patch where you have to kill the 3 Valhawks per day, it's mostly just trying to offset the fact that campaigns completely remove dailies. Or, you know, that whole daily. Like, it's 5 to 15 hours every week. Or, sorry, about 1 hour a week. 5 to 15 hours every campaign. That were just completely removed from the game. That you don't even have to really do anymore. And the last few dailies we've got, and pretty much just evened that out. Back to pretty much where it was. 2, 3, and 4. $60-turn treasure hunt is still better than arena. 60-turn treasure hunt wasn't too bad. But it did require actually trying at the treasure map. Because you wouldn't just be able to spam click unless you got really, really lucky. You'd have to actually try to hit 60 turns. 60 turns doesn't happen too often on accident. Oh, that didn't kill. I just feel like that did so little damage. I know for sure I maxed it. I felt like it did absolutely nothing. I guess it's not that high. It's hitting, what, 78? Alright, that's why it seemed low. Because honestly, that's not that particularly high. 78 damage is not a lot. It's a lot relative to how loopy it is. But compared to like Guard's Avatar doing like 128 right there, it's not actually too big a number. I think I'm just starting to get too used to Stellarix just auto-winning everything the second you click on it. And everything else just seems so low in comparison. Like 70-something's not that bad for a pseudo-infinite loop double poke. It looks like we can get through 2 more floors. We're at 14. Yep, 14, 15. We only need 4 fights for that. If we get another Val Raven, we could even take out 16. Which would make a lot of sense because that's how far we're scouted and no one has bothered going further. Good job, Guild. Oh no, someone is scouting. Thank you, Dark Arthur. He just said he's scouting right now. I'll drop a thanks. Let's see. I feel like I never communicate to my guild, but there you go. Have a thanks. I don't know, a lot of social things I just haven't been using lately. Pretty much haven't been on social media since the pandemic. To like any degree. Alright, 2. Take this one. Alright, we're good to go. We live stream to social media every day. Oh no, does YouTube count as social media? I guess to some degree it is. It's definitely in a bit of a different category of social media if it is, though. Like, I would consider TikTok to be a social media video posting platform, but I wouldn't really put YouTube in the same category. Like, the way that you would upload to TikTok is a lot more social media-like than how you would upload to YouTube. Like the kind of content geared towards it compared to YouTube. What do I think of the new Glory Troop? It is a mess. I have no clue what's going on there. I don't mind the premise of what it's trying to do. It just doesn't do it to any degree that's even remotely worth using. Oh, so hello, Lester. Welcome, welcome. Like, the premise of what it's trying to do isn't bad. It's just the execution of what it ultimately does is horrific. It's actually a type of troop we don't really have a good version of. Honglong's like the closest thing we have to one. We don't really have a good ultra-random troop in the game currently. The closest two things I would consider under that category is Fairy Godmother, with the randomness of the Wish Gems, and Honglong, which these days compared to, like, Diamantina is, or Stellarix is like nothing. So those are two really random troops that actually uses RNG pretty well. Honglong and Fairy Godmother. But pretty much every other execution of it in the entire game is so bad. It's just way too random to justify its usage. And even the two I just mentioned are generally too random as well. Like Fairy Godmother, while really good for mana accumulation, just isn't that consistent. Did something happen to daylight savings times again? Oh no, did it? I started at the correct time. Relative to my time. Well, whatever time we just started half an hour ago is the time that we're going to be starting every day until it goes back. The time that is. Whatever half an hour prior to now is in your time. Yeah, this is our new stream time for probably around the next 8 months, 9 months. If it happens to be a different time compared to what your time is right now. Which I think is an hour earlier? Later? I think it's an hour earlier. Why are we 1 hour earlier? Because the time shifted by an hour. And now that's normal time. But if we ever go longer than an hour, it would still go back into our normal time, technically. Alright, there we go. Well, we made it as far as we were scouted, so... How convenient. Perfect. That would explain why we're scouted that far. Because everyone keeps doing the exact same thing I'm doing and not bothering to go any further. No, then again, not too many people. There's only a 3-way tie here. Me, Isabella, and Gadget. All at the bare minimum club. Oh, technically, one other person. Though they have a weird number of boons. For some reason. A bare minimum club. Technically someone else who skipped all the powers. Oh gosh, he skipped all the power. He took like one and then ignored the rest. Anyways. Alright. Oh, what are we doing? Let's go grab some magic. Where are we heading to? Oh yeah, I sent out a code right here. Oh, so hello Tyrion. Welcome, welcome. We'll have another code in a little bit as well. But here's the first code, everyone. Enjoy. There you guys go. Alright, next order of business. Let's go clear our dailies, I guess. What do we have? Complete all adventure boards. Sure, why not? What's on adventure board today? Ooh, nice. We actually got a good one. Unfortunately, the rest isn't that good, but shouldn't take that long to go kill out with this team. Yeah, we'll have another code in a little bit. I didn't actually mention it yet this stream. I think it's in the title of the stream. But we are going to be doing a bit of PvP. Last I recall, I believe we do have yellow PvP. I haven't actually touched PvP yet. But I did peek, and I'm pretty sure we have access to a yellow section. So, or not yellow. Wait, what color was it? It was some section that wasn't bad. It was green. We have access to double on green today. So it's probably going to run like a Leprechaun Stellarix. But yeah, it's kind of funny. We actually don't have access to any color that's related to Takshaka. So we're going to have to use like Leprechaun Stellarix as if this was like a month ago. Or a couple weeks ago. Such an old meta team. But yeah, we're going to have to go back to Leprechaun Stellarix. It's going to feel bad after getting Empower Stellarix all this time, but it's not that much slower. It is slower, but not that bad. We've been using it for the last, like, 7 years. I think we can deal with going back to it for one battle. Or one section of battles. And I want to do it on green because the other two are actually going to be quite a bit slower. Whereas green is honestly not that much slower than what we're using now. Slightly slower, but not by much. And in case we don't get any other green all this week, I kind of want to do it all today. Well, not all today. But I do want to get a good chunk in tonight. Like off stream, I think I'm going to go to like almost 30,000 if not higher. Might even push like a 50,000 or something. Not all this stream, obviously. Which I'm almost considering even running the hour boost tonight. Because I would have to if I'm going to that amount of points. So yeah, I guess we'll run for about an hour and a half of PvP tonight then. Because we're going to do everything we need to do to get to 5,700 and then use an hour boost. And then once that hour expires, we'll probably call it there. So yeah, we're actually going to be streaming for like 2 hours tonight then. Even a little longer. Because we still haven't even cleared out all dailies yet, though we're getting pretty close. Under Spire, I'm just buying these up for later. We'll probably do them on Wednesday or Thursday or something. Buy that, buy that. Yeah, restriction is Wild Plains. We have a couple teams that we can end up using here. Bullet if you need something really cheap. Though most teams are going to be built around one of two weapons. The Wild Primal Axe, which is based on all Wild Plains teams or troops, which you're restricted to anyways. But the other big one is Doom Spade. You get this for 500 gems from the Doom event, and obviously we're using it for the whole Doom event. And you can use it for this too. Just fill a bunch of browns on your team and you're good to go. It doesn't even really matter what they are. Put some of these, put like a Soothsayer down. Boom, you got yourself a cheap team. Upgrade accordingly. Good to go. Just replace things out as you need better or have up better upgrades. And that's just your team. That's all you really need for this. But anyways, we'll run that probably this Wednesday or Thursday. Covered the teams on in the Monday video, of course. I think we covered 3 different ones. One that used the new mythic, one that doesn't use the new mythic because it's currently money locked, and then one that was a cheaper team, which is pretty much the team we just showed, the Soothsayer Bullet with the weapon. Anyways, let's go clear our dungeon. Come on, top 3. Oh, boo, already ice trap. Sad. Oh, and we hit weakness, that's even worse. Any good troops from Wild Plains? A couple. The most noteworthy one is Lord of Slaughter. Like, Lord of Slaughter is basically the entire kingdom. There's a bunch of gnolls and stuff like that too, but they're very rarely used. And they were mostly used for Guild War, which we haven't had in like 3-4 months at this point. It still feels so weird not having Guild War for so long. It's the longest in the history of game we've ever had without a Guild War. And at this rate, it might just never come back. But no, Wild Plains, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the only really, really good troop in Wild Plains, I would say. Is Lord of Slaughter. The new guy that came in isn't too bad, but we need him to be in drop table, which he currently is not, for him to really be utilized. He's he can't really utilize his main gimmick of creating a bunch of yellow lightning gems until we have the ability to create more. And we can't do that unless we can get more than one copy of him. But yeah, it's a pretty average kingdom as far as troops. The main premise of the kingdom is that they boost based on their stats. The problem with this is it boosts only on their stats. There's almost nothing in the kingdom that boosts based on enemy stats. So they're all like weaker versions of Rowan or Tesla or stuff like that, in a sense. They also tend to boost a small amount based on all their stats. And there aren't too many good ways to raise all stats. Normally there's good ways to raise one specific stat, but very rarely is there something really good that does all of them. With some exceptions like Vespera and such. But Vespera, Wild Plains team doesn't really work out too well. There's just not too many ways to really get them what they need. And even if you can, there's generally just better ways of doing it. Like feeding armor directly to Rowan is better than feeding armor to any of the Taurus troops. And so on and so forth. But anyways, we did that. Text is still off-center, I see. That will get done on its own, so we can just ignore it. Tower of Doom we already did. Guild Wars supposedly is next week. I'll believe it when I see it. It's definitely not. I am absurdly doubtful it is next week. Alright, we good to go? Are we already at PvP? Oh, that went quick. Alright, let's go do some PvP. It's basically every main weekly we can get done, and or daily. Let's go do some PvP now. So, we're going to be doing green section, as it is the one that gives us stubble. We're obviously going to need one of the buffs. Oh yeah, I didn't check to see what buffs we had. I forgot to even mention them in the video. Do we have any good ones? We have the Uller one again. Trying to see the gain magic when you cast spell one. 2 magic is start a battle. Maybe next week is Guild War? Oh no, it said that a couple weeks now, and I highly doubt it. 1 attack for each brown ally, 1 life. Gain 1 magic for each purple. Unfortunately, it's not purple though. Oh no, will we not be able to go the really good one? There it is. +1 magic for each yellow ally. It's still here. Wait, what's it under this time? Wait, is it still the same fights as before? Oh no, we have to do it with war gear now. That's not horrifically bad. It's not ideal, but yeah, sure. I guess we go Wolf Garrick build. Let's double check. Because we can't really go all in on Todd. We do have Lord of Slaughter. We're just mentioning how good he is, but I'm not sure if I really want to go down the skull route when they get that high stats, because I want this to be able to scale all the way. I just run a war gear weapon. Hey, we're allowed to run any weapon, right? Yeah, we are. So we can actually run like purple or brown doom weapon. And run it around that. I do want to have the resummoner though. We can Moonsinger into green. Let's see. Do these buffs change or just change color? They should change based on what kingdoms are available, or, you know, like what areas are available. So they will occasionally change from time to time based on what battles we have around. Like, for example, I believe the categories we have here are different because it's a different color. But they still give the same bonus, so maybe they don't change. Because that's still the same score reduction, that's still the same spell reduction. I'm not sure what that was before. But the restriction we have to use for the buff does seem to be different right now. But I'm not sure if the buffs actually rotate or not, because all the ones I just checked there I think were exactly the same. And this, of course, being here is also the same as, you know, before. It's still here. But the team we have to use for is different. So maybe it's just the team that changes, but the buffs stay the same. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I want to run this either. I was considering a Wolf Garrick spam into, what's his name? Into, Todd, whatever his name is. I'm not sure if that's worth it, though. Because obviously he creates weight less than what he used to. He's only creating 10 per. So if that's the case, I think we just go all in on Doom. I might just go single Doom weapon. The problem with that is we have to give up all mana accumulators. We can just run Doomed Volge. Put something in front of it to tank for it. Get its mana up, go from there. You have Enchant Bless, right? Bless Enchant. Yeah, give me that. Honestly, just give me the whole team. Oh, I only have 2. No! Unfortunate. What do I tank with then? I might replace Wolf Garrick with a super cheap tank. Is there a purple here that has Empower? I don't think we do. Oh, we do. I don't need the mana, but I also don't need to cast it, so it's fine. Alright, there we go. That's our team. And then we just run Archmagus into a banner. Alright, there we go. Any other purple yellow? Sure, that one. Alright, there we go. Aneri, just because it has Empower and no other reason. Archmagus is Doomed Volge. Fennec. That's the whole team. That should be all we need. Okay, then they actually do have some purples in there. And this will be for our extra 20 magic. This will be the team we use all week for it whenever we need it then. Biggest issue with this team is getting our initial mana. From there, we should pretty much be good to go. Just gotta be careful not to die if we can help it. Because we do lose gem spawn per death. What is the highest VP I've ever gotten? Nothing too high. I don't think we've ever even cracked 100k yet. Honestly, like 70 or 80,000 was the highest we ever bothered doing. Though it's easier than ever to get a high score. Like last week, we had like 70,000 by the end of the week. And we were barely even trying to get any. Because they almost doubled the rate at which you can get it now. Counting Stellarix buff, like pre-Stellarix buff combined with like the doubling they just did, it's actually quicker to get it's more than double what it was before, the rate at which you can get it. Like, I haven't actually like fully timed it out recently, but I want to say it's like 17 to 18,000 an hour at our current area. Like, you know, based on our level and everything. That can vary heavily based on your level. It actually determines how much VP you get, oddly enough. But our level range, we can, I'm pretty sure, pretty easily clear, well, definitely easily clear 16,000, but I believe we can get like 17, 18,000 an hour if we're like really trying. Is this the second to last fight or the last fight? I want to say second to last. They're dying pretty quickly. Gosh, these Doom weapons are insane. Oh yeah, it was second to last. I thought so. I can't wait till we get one of these for every color. We will buy time summer hits over the next 4 weeks. Obviously, we literally just got the brown one today. Which is kind of funny that I'm using the blue one, or the purple one right now, given that the brown one just came out today, but oh well. We used it for the other mode. I know, my first slot's about to die. I have no way to really keep it alive. As I literally just leave a skull there that I could die to. Oh, that would be really bad if that dies to death mark. We should be okay, because this thing technically has a Vulpine Hunter summon. The only problem with the Vulpine Hunter summon is it's not purple. So we can't actually use it for our boost ratio. I can meat shield it so our hero doesn't die. But it will not increase our gem spawn rate. So for example, I could do this, which I almost never do, but unfortunately he counts as blue or red, which is specifically not purple. We're in a bit of a clunky spot this battle, but we will win. Eventually. What does your ability even do? I completely forget. Either deal a bunch of true damage to an enemy boosted by blue gems, or deal a bunch of splash damage to an enemy boosted by blue gems. Interesting. Both of those in this situation essentially do the same thing. Oh, you can actually hit yourself. I forgot about that. There actually used to be a glitch with that back in the day, where if you killed your final unit with that, it would actually end the battle, even though you got to resummon. They have since fixed it, as you see there. But there used to be a glitch with it, that if you did Elspeth in that exact way that just happened, it would end the fight. Because there was a moment in which you had 0 troops. Because it would check that you had 0 troops and then end the fight before you get the resummon. But now it actually does the resummon before it checks to notice that you have 0 troops remaining. So you can actually Elspeth your final option. That didn't used to be possible back in the day. Well, it was possible, but you would auto lose the fight. But they have fixed that glitch, or interaction more so. It's been fixed for a while now. I kind of forgot about it, though. It was fixed like 7 years ago. It was fixed like a year or 2 after Elspeth came out. But anyways, what am I doing? I think we're about to go run this, because that's the only thing we have left. I think what our goal is go get 5,700 rating, which is quicker than ever. Then go use the hour boost. I think this is what we're doing for the rest of the stream. It sounds like a lot, but it doesn't actually take that long. Well, getting to 5,700 won't take that long. Obviously, the other thing will take an hour. There's no way to speed that up, unfortunately. So that's pretty much the game plan. We'll do PvP like for a minute, or an hour and 15 minutes or so. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's see. Let's go here. Oh, yeah, I need a team, don't I? Let's go build it. We're going to need Stellarix, Leprechaun, something, something, something. So we're going to need a Stellarix, Leprechaun, or 2, or 3. I can't run Essentia because that's blue-yellow. What else can we add to this team? We can add Hero with Wand. So let's go grab that. Wand, Hero, Archer class. Alright, what else do we need? Banner, green, anything. You know what? Just double green. How about that? We'll go very green. Okay, I think that's all we need. Stellarix, Wand, Leprechaun, Leprechaun. That gives us counter to the main thing we need to go counter. Submerge. We have Greenstorm. We have double Leprechaun. Seems good to me. I don't see anything immediately that we really need to switch. Obviously, we could try switching out one of the 2 Leprechauns. I'm just not sure if anything would really help us that much. Oh, I guess Essentia could. You know what? Let's go with that. We haven't ran that troop in a while. Very old meta option. Or not Essentia. I can't remember its name. Queen Aurora. We haven't ran Queen Aurora in a very, very long time. It's kind of funny because 6-colored player-owned mythics didn't exist at the time. Oops, wrong area. But now they do. Queen Aurora's ability is it's basically mana link, but for all 6. So she gives +1 mana to all 6 colors. So it's basically Leprechaun, but instead of just green, it's all colors. Also, hello, Rob. Welcome, welcome. Because there's very few situations where we're going to need double Leprechaun. So we'll just do it like this. And now we get extra mana for everything. Instead of just green. At the only cost of just not being able to double tap Leprechaun, but most battles we're not going to need anyways. Yeah, we'll do this until we go get 5,700, and then we'll go spam the hour boost. Let's see how many points I can get us up to. By the end of it all, it should get us to roughly 23,000? Because we're going to have, what, 7,700. Let's say 8,000. Let's say we do 16,000. Yeah, we're going to have about 24 to 25,000 VP by the end of the stream. That's like a really slow during the hour. Oh, so hello, Mr. Z. Welcome, welcome. Oh, sorry, I do have top chat on. I might be missing some chat. Let me go fix that. Oh, yeah, there's one of our Valhawks, by the way. We could technically go for a second buff if we really wanted to. Would a second Stellarix be useful? It would be if you were running like a Wish Gem team or something similar. I don't really see too many situations where you would need a second Stellarix. But it could be a okay backup if you feel like you're going to miss with it or something. But normally there's a better backup you could do, like having a curse wand ready or something similar. There's just very few teams where you would need a second one. Not to mention a lot of situations where you might need a second one, you could just use Diamantina instead. And use Stellarex and Diamantina, and that way you get more magic for your first one anyways. As you will have more of a dragon bonus if you have 3 or more dragons on your team. Oh, there's a second Valhawk already. We're actually getting pretty lucky on them for once. We've been over drop rate almost every day except one, but we're on track to get it done in like a few right now. I think that's 2 within 4 or 5 fights now. Quickest we've pretty much ever gotten them at the start. Of course, the third one's gonna take forever now. You're still struggling to get one, yeah. He's among one of the hardest things to get in the game at the moment. Not the absolute hardest, but he's pretty high up there. And him being so new has kind of contributed to that as well. As he just hasn't been in the drop table for that long. Oh, it's one of these kind of situations. Kind of have to hit it with Skull. Because every single time... That's the only bad thing about Umbral Stars when he does his curse ability. Is anything that gains Submerge based on taking damage. If you keep creating stars on the board, you're going to destroy a bunch of gems. Those destroyed gems will then hit a Skull. The Skull that you hit will then resubmerge. So you'll basically remove their Submerge and then immediately replace their Submerge with another Submerge. That's the only really bad thing about Wand. It is really bad at getting rid of Submerge from a troop that gains Submerge when it takes damage. Luckily, there's only about a dozen troops in the entire game that are like that. But Wand is really, really bad against them. It's actually probably its biggest hard counter. Is anything that gains Submerge when you hit it with anything. Because basically every Wand cast will trigger it. And most teams that Wand gets used with are obviously like full AoE wipe teams. There are a few exceptions though. Do you think the next Dragonite dragons will be able to compare to the ones like Stellarex are? I feel like the next batch will be weaker than Stellarex. Honestly, I would kind of hope so. Like, weaker, but more unique. Like, more in line where Diamantina is, but something completely different. I don't think they're going to make them full AoE, despite dragons generally being, like, the full AoE category of troop. I don't think they're going to do that for the next set of dragons. I think they're going to focus on mana accumulation or something else with them. Make them more of, like, a support category. Rather than infinite damage. Because they don't really have anywhere else to go with damage. Or at least not with AoE damage anyways, when it comes to dragons. Like, they'd have to go a different angle. Like a gem spawn route or something similar. Maybe some kind of new power gem around that time. Because all of the dragons have actually utilized some kind of new power gem. Or, you know, there's some kind of power gem in that regard. The first batch ended up using those giant gems, which is rather ironic given that we have dragon gems, and not a single one of them used the dragon gem mechanic. Actually, that's not true. Don't the other ones of this use the dragon ones? It's just he's the one who uses the stars. Because, yeah, don't all the celestial dragons actually use dragon gem convert? If I'm not mistaken. I never used them, so I kind of forget. Because we immediately got Stellarex, so I never needed to really use them. Yeah, I think they convert into dragon gems. Whereas the first batch converts into giant gems. Or doom skulls in the case of Diamantina. And of course this guy creates umbral stars and the other star. The elemental star. So they would definitely do it with some kind of other new gem mechanic. Or existing gem mechanic. Because technically Stellarex didn't use a new mechanic. It used an already existing mechanic. It just made that old existing mechanic usable. Because there are very few things in this game that use... ignoring these two options right here, there are very few things in the game that create elemental stars and umbral stars that are actually good, if you ignore the fact that Stellarex and Wand exist. Like, there's almost zero options excluding those two. Because those were gems that existed in the game that were almost never really used just because they weren't really on anything good. And then they made it into one of the best weapons and one of the best troops in the entire game. And then it made it viable. So they could easily do that with like old power gems. For like a next set of dragons. Might not even utilize a more modern one. They might just utilize some other old one that doesn't really get used much. As long as they don't do bomb gem. I do have to say, though, a wild card dragon for the next 6-color dragon would be a lot of fun. Like something that creates some amount of wild cards per cast while having an ability that isn't awful. We technically already have a troop like that, it's just awful. Like we need a good version of it. We actually got it as the mythic at the end of the wild card season. But we basically need that premise, but not horrible. Like, if I type in wildcard right here, what I just said actually technically exists. It's just the troop that does it is so bad that it's never worth using. Yeah, it's this one. The Timata. It deals a bunch of damage to all enemies, then creates 3-4 times wildcards. So this premise does exist. It's just both these numbers are so pitiful, they're never worth using. And his final trait, I don't think, was anything special. Yeah, he just gains a bunch of life every time an enemy casts a spell. So he basically has no unique trait while also having just an underwhelming amount. But like this for the next like big Diamantina trip could be fun. Or you know, the next Diamantina, next Stellarix. If they're still gonna keep like the AoE premise. But I do kind of hope they go down some kind of other route for it. If they do different troop types in the future, imagine 6 elemental bosses. I'm not sure, because technically it's Dragonite, so it seems like they would mostly only do dragons with it. Dragons do Lycanthropy and Terror? Oh gosh. That wouldn't be bad though, if we eventually get like a mythic or a boss troop that does Lycanthropy, Terror, Deathmark, and Curse. It'd be the trolliest character to ever exist. A Curse, Deathmark, a 4 times Curse, Deathmark, yeah, Curse, Deathmark, Lycanthropy, and Terror. Something that can consistently apply all those while infinite looping would be really funny. You're just running a slot machine every turn. Yeah, that's a mechanic that we didn't quite get yet, that I still hope comes into the game. We don't have a good Curse Terror build. I would love to see it. Like, we have Curse Terror in the game, we just don't have any good team that utilizes it right now. Particularly Curse Terror Deathmark. To get even more rolls for kills. Which again, that can be done right now, it's just done in such a clunky way that it's not worth doing. Because if something like that got Lycanthropy, it would actually make it worse, not better. Because you generally don't ever want to Lycanthrope something. It just prolongs a fight. It's actually probably one of the most annoying effects still in this game. It was really controversial when it first came out, as many of you probably know. But the biggest issue with Lycanthropy is it slows down the battle regardless if you're the one doing it or the enemy's doing it to you. If the enemy's doing it to you, it's slowing it down because obviously it's messing up your team of 4 and replacing it with a random beast. But it also makes it slower if you're using it on the enemy, because you could easily have something brought down to like 10 HP, then it gets Lycanthroped into a max HP beast, and then you have to re-kill it all over again. So it doesn't matter if you're using lycanthropy or the enemy's using lycanthropy. The battle will be slower with any battle with lycanthropy in it. Which is the most annoying thing about it. Because it just by default prolongs a fight. Oh, so I should go check how many points I have. Because I just realized, we could actually pass the threshold we need to be at. I need to make sure we don't pass 5,700. There's a good chance we may have already passed 7,500. Or 5,700, I think. Let me go check. I don't think we have. But if we have, we can't get our free 1,000. Which I guess doesn't matter as much these days. Now that VP comes in so quick. Let me go check. How much are we at? We are at... Okay, good. I didn't pass it yet. Oh, not even close. That's fine. Just want to make sure we don't go over. Getting really close to our hour boost. And we will use the whole thing tonight because we might as well. I know, it died. I just realized I have no backup plan if that happens. This team has no damage source aside from first slot. So if it goes down, we might as well just retreat from the fight. This is basically over like the one we just had. Otherwise our damage goes down to basically nothing. Oi! Hey, we get a Witch Gem. Oh, that's from his troop. I was like, wait, how do we get Witch Gem? That's from the one he created. Our troop's actually kind of useful. Not to use on your own team these days, but just because it can be on the enemy team and you triggering it off the enemy team is just free value. I'll catch you later, Supernova. Thanks for stopping by. Now we need 1,300 more. Just like 10-ish fights, give or take, depending on how the multipliers want to be. Yeah, this is definitely slower than running for the other troop. It's actually surprisingly slower. I've been using Takshaka for so long now. By that I mean a little over a week. That I kind of forgot how bad it was prior to Takshaka. Leprechaun is like useless compared to Takshaka. It's actually kind of insane. The reign of Leprechaun has ended. Like, he's still insanely good, especially for the rarity. But it's actually night and day, the difference between triple Takshaka compared to passing Leprechaun. How many more is that? Slightly more. Also, I'm surprised they didn't fix that in the most recent patch. You can still get the bonus from doing one before. The 1000 VP now means so much less than it did the other week. And every week prior. Of course, now that amount means almost nothing. Now that we can get nearly double it per hour. Not quite double, but pretty close. Why is every fight so bad? Come on, just a few good ones. Do I get tired of Stellarix? Not really. Like, if we were to do it for, like, a very, very long time on end, like, I'm talking, like, hours upon hours. But in short bursts, it's pretty fun. Like, I feel like it's the same as Ironhawk Team. In that sense. Where, yes, if you do it for, like, 4 hours straight, you're gonna go crazy, but, you know, just a little bit here and there is fun. I do feel like it really hinders build diversity, though. And that's mostly rooted from Stellarix just being slightly too strong. And it's just too versatile. Like, there's too many ways that you can use it. Like, you know, area-wise. Oh, 2 more fights will do it, unless we get one really beefy one. Oh, that is one really beefy one. I know, I am going to be handing out the second code. We already handed out one earlier. I'll have the other one in a little bit. Alright, there we go. Let's go grab it, and then we'll go for another hour. You just realize your hero doesn't have a class. Though you had to have one class before a battle. I forget what it defaults to if you do that. But yeah, it is possible to have no class set if you're going into a new mode. I think there's also a way to set your class to nothing if you mess with the code thingy. Like the copy-paste code for a team. You could technically set a team that already has a class set to no class. I forget what it defaults to when you do that. I want to say it does Warlord, because that was the first class in the game. But normally I just always pick one for it. But anyways, let's go do our boost. And you know what? Let's even throw some EXP boosts in there. Why not? Like 4 EXPs into a thing. Might as well. I think some of them about to expire soon anyways. Might as well. Not the best value we can get from them, but at least it's free value. Alright, let's go claim them all. So we get 1,000 there for some reason. We didn't get another 1,000. And there we go, 7,788. Alright, now we got an hour on the clock. Let's go. Now let's do this for an hour, though. Only slight problem with this is we're not getting as much as we would be if we were able to run the other team, but it's not that big a deal. It's not too much slower. Come on, let me get a poke. Let me get a poke. There's no poke. What am I supposed to do with this board? But I'm already missing the triple, Tak Shaka team. But unfortunate, all 3 sections we have this week are non-Tak Shakable. I wonder if I'd be a bit better starting with Marilith on this team instead of having Queen Aurora. The upside of it is we'd get a lot more mana accumulation. The downside of it is we're blocking with 12 mana at the start of every fight. It also gets some meat shield, which is nice. At some point I'll end this turn. There we go. It feels so weird going back to Leprechaun now. It really just shows how strong Takshaka is now. The Leprechaun almost seems slow. Because you have to waste a whole turn every time, 100% of the time. Whereas Takshaka, like a third the time, if not more, you just skip straight to just clicking your button and auto win. And even if it misses, the following turn you just re-get all your mana right back. With no delay either. Because that's the issue with Leprechaun. Not only does he only do it once, making him in a lot of teams just a one cash troop, but he also, which I'm actually surprised is a thing they never did to him, make it so you can only cast him once per battle as a balance measure. But a lot of teams that he gets used in, you basically only cast him once. Whereas something like a, you know, 2-3 Takshakas, every single turn you're getting that mana, not just turn one. Yeah, oh wait, never mind, I already handed out another redeem code, there it is. I was gonna say I'll hand out another one, never mind, I just did. Gosh, I have such short-term memory, I forgot that we even handed out the code, like, literally 2 minutes ago. Yeah, this is way slower. We're gonna have a way lower than what my estimate was. I think by the end of this, we're gonna be close to like 21, 22,000. Like at this point, I'll be happy if we break over 20,000. That's not the way I wanted to take that. Oops. I was about to put a mirror lift there. Don't die to Death Mark, don't you dare do it. I think we are. Mirror lift. Instead of Queen Aurora. Going down the mirror lift route. It's just a lot more consistent since we don't get full mana every turn. Airlift will be our full mana every turn. It also ensures he'll never die unless he dies like Death Mark or some other weird shenanigan. Devour or something else. Let's see, have we broke 10,000 from that yet? No. Yeah, that's actually way slower. How's the leaderboard looking? Let me just check real quick. Ladder. Oh, wow. My leaderboard's actually somewhat competitive this week, too. Oh, no. Am I doing all this for nothing? They're already at like 24,000 on Monday. And by the end of the stream, we'll probably be at like 20,000. Even with all the grinding right now, we won't be on top 3. And as maybe they'll stop after 1 day. But if they keep going, my entire leaderboard is on track to be over 100,000 by the end of the week. And the worst part is, what we're doing right now is probably going to be our best category. Like, every other category is probably just going to be slower to run. I've actually done 1 there, so we got unfrozen on all colors. Oh, so it's kind of funny when you get frozen on a 6-color troop, because it does almost what original Freeze was going to do. Before Freeze was added to Gems of War, it was originally going to have a different effect that's actually even stronger than what it is now. Which is kind of funny, because even in its current state, it's basically considered one of the strongest, if not the strongest stats effect in the game. But it was originally going to release where if even a single thing anywheres on your team was frozen, it would be impossible for you to land any extra turn through any means. It was going to be its original effect. So 1 single troop anywhere on your team being frozen meant no extra turn. You would always lose your turn after every action. Is what a freeze was originally going to be. Which in the current state of the game would be so strong. Especially if it worked against hourglass gems and the such. Though I say that, I haven't actually checked to see what the outer ring was this week. Were there any good categories? Because I'm pretty sure we still have the same junk ones from before. I haven't actually checked to see if we were getting new ones as of the patch. Because this is the first new week since the patch. Has anyone actually checked yet? Like, what do we have on outer ring? Is it the same junk that's always been there? Or did we actually get, like, new cool categories like dragon or, I don't know, what's a kingdom that isn't useless? I'm very sure we're still just getting the same junk from before. I kind of just assumed that, but technically this was the first day where it could have been something different. This is the first reset since the patch. Wait, 41k is your third place? Oh gosh, I thought mine was bad. Yeah, my lowest place is 24,000 right now. By the end of the stream, we're probably going to have like 21 or 22,000. So even after all this, we're still going to be slightly short. It's definitely worth it for the deep book at the end of the week, though. Well, let's see. Relative to how many gems it's worth, how much time is it worth putting into PvP to get top 3 for a deep book? So a deed book is worth, what, 2,500 gems? Because each deed is worth 50, you need 50 of them, so that's 2,500. So as long as you spend less than 5 hours a week doing PvP, it comes down to, like, let's say, assume it does take 5 hours of PvP over the course of a week. That is 500 gems worth of deeds per hour. That's still really insanely good. That would be worth it up to 10 hours, so anything beyond that would probably not be as worth it. But even if it took 10 hours of PvP, that's effectively 250 gems an hour of gems in the form of deep book. Because right now after this stream, we'll be like, what, an hour and a half into the grind? Roughly. Last week, I think it took like 4 hours total to get a deed book. But now everyone's moving up a lot quicker. But you can also get those points quicker, so it's not really that much more time you have to put into it. Like, everyone's score is higher, but the rate at which you can get that score is also higher. If anything, it does hinder, like, newer players a little bit more because they might not be able to deal with stats as well, like higher stats. But it also evens out because lower level players are already getting more points anyways for doing the same amount of battles. So even though taking bloodthirsty areas might be harder for them because they have less stats, they also gain more VP on average per fight. So it kind of balances out. So I would love to have a turn. There we go. I felt like it took like 5 turns in a row there. End of the week, PvP might be 300 to 400k. Yeah, wasn't the whole leaderboard that high earlier? Yeah, people got some pretty crazy high numbers, and it wasn't even a full week of the change. This will be the first full week since it changed, so we get to really see what the effect will be on scores. I wouldn't be surprised if the lowest score on leaderboard for top 100 is like 500,000 by the end of this week. Like, I think it's going to be like almost 500,000 for top 100. Definitely at least like 200,000 or something, or 250,000. Like a 250,000. Is Cinder Mirage not viable anymore? Oh yeah, didn't it end up getting some kind of troop that made it not work? Yeah, I think it only works in Wild Plains, which you can't do this week because of the 10%, and Drak Zoom. I can't remember what troop it is, but I believe Cinder Mirage got a troop that made it not possible recently. So yeah, you would have to do it in either Wild Plains, which you can't do this week, or Cinder Mirage, which you should be able to do this week. Or sorry, not Cinder Mirage, I mean Drak Zoom. Drak Zoom's the other one. Those are the last two that work. But you can't do Wild Plains this week because you have 10% stats. Because the tourist buff or whatever they have. So Drak Zoom should be the only one you can Dust Devil this week. Yeah, we're starting to run out of kingdoms that we could run this super quick Dust Devil team on. It's going to be unfortunate once we run out of locations. It'll make verse farming slightly slower, as well as XP farming. Hopefully that will never become the case. And even if it does, there's a chance a new kingdom could be the new location. Because now we've been, on average, getting a new kingdom every year. It's only a matter of time before they accidentally make a new kingdom have a durability range where you can actually run Dust Devil on it. They haven't done that yet, but it's only a matter of time before they slip up and do it again. All right, 42 minutes left on the clock, and we're at 12K. Not bad. Wait, we can actually break that down. 42 into that, into that. Wait, we got almost 5,000? Oh, yeah, but we're doing it times that, so yeah. So that'd be on track to do about 13 to 14,000 then. Over the course of, 15 minutes. I mean, of an hour, I mean. Because in about 20 minutes, we did a slightly under 5,000. So it's like 14, 15,000 an hour then. Which honestly, that's not that slow. It's slower than Takshaka. But 14 to 15,000 per hour does not seem that slow at all. That's a low fall. Welcome, welcome. Are you making dinner? Nice. What are you having? Are you gonna try the Queen of Wands? The what? Which trip was that? Oh, the tarot card. Someone was mentioning earlier that they were gonna that it was technically coming tomorrow and not today. I was saying today earlier because a little while back because that's when it was originally scheduled. But I believe there was some kind of forum post that said they would actually be releasing it tomorrow. I forgot to actually mention that in the video earlier today, as well as now. But yeah, I don't think it's actually coming out until tomorrow. I don't think it's in drop table right now. But yeah, I completely forgot to mention it during the video or during the stream. But do not try opening Vault Keys right now to try to get the new tarot card. It is actually not in drop table until tomorrow, supposedly. I'll probably be opening keys for it on Wednesday and Thursday. One or the other. But it should be in drop table tomorrow, supposedly. Beef stew with a side of mac and cheese. Ooh, nice. Yeah, that was one important thing I really forgot to go mention during the video today. Soon TM, pretty much. That's about when it's being released. It's one of the reasons I kind of want to wait till Wednesday as well. Aside from the fact that we probably won't have time to open it tomorrow because of the faction event and everything. I also want to just make sure it's in drop table. Because I don't have infinite keys to be throwing. I think we only have like 200 something left. No new achievements on Xbox? Really? They didn't add it? I actually did both the 2 new achievements while going over the video. Like during that one video where we went over all the spoilers for the patch that technically was already out, and then I realized that the patch was already out. We literally got both of them done during it. They were so easy. What even were they? I think they were due like 1 obelisk battle and then 5 obelisk battles or something. It took no time at all. Though I guess as a newer player, doing all 5 obelisk battles might be a little bit more difficult. But as long as you have a location that has access to Devour or Insta-Kill, you should be fine. Might just take a couple tries. Does pork chop sound good? Oh, pork chops on a bed of pasta? Nice. Steamed Brussels sprouts. You could be one of those people that come to the table and describe the food you're about to eat. That sounds funny. I actually did go to a restaurant a long while back where someone's dedicated role was literally like just doing that. It was one of the more high-end areas in this around this area, like one of the places that you can end up eating at. And I've only ever eaten there like 3 times, never once at my expense because I would never go there. It's way too expensive. But there was literally a person who would come who wasn't even your waiter or anything, who wasn't necessarily the manager, I don't think, but they would literally just come to your table and describe like absolutely anything. And they made everything sound so good. In all fairness, it was also good. So it was pretty accurate. But there was literally someone who wasn't the waiter, who wasn't the manager, who literally just came to your table and did basically exactly that. I'll catch you later, Isabel. Have a good night. Yeah, I've basically not been eating out at all. This entire year so far, I pretty much haven't been eating out. Like, I think the last time I ate out was for the Super Bowl. Which was, what, 4 weeks ago? Like, almost a month by this point. I don't know, food's just gotten so expensive at places. Like, every fast food place is as much as, like, an average restaurant. They've gotten so expensive. You want to eat at the restaurant you work at? Yeah, I used to do that back when I used to work at a restaurant. We used to get 1 free meal every day that we worked there. Yeah, it's just so much cheaper to cook at home these days. It always has been, but especially with how prices have been recently, even more so than ever. Oh no, another Stellarix. Luckily theirs is blocked by a billion things. It's just random stuff. I don't see too many enemy Stellarixes out there. Only bad thing about it is a billion spell reduction. It's gonna outlive everything. Plus it doesn't help he has full mana right now. Oh, are we about to get Stellarixed? We almost just got Stellarixed. By a Stellarix. Wow, we almost lost. We had 17 HP left by the end. Wow, Stellarix is broken. Stellarix is so strong that it beats Stellarix. Luckily, we still barely won, though. I kind of keep forgetting how bulky this thing is. It is such high DPS that I kind of forget that it's a tank, technically. Like, it basically has a durability of a tank mythic while having the best damage of anything in the entire game. It's kind of insane. No impervious, though. Biggest thing it's still missing. But you can just give it Bless and it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, I didn't eat any fast food for a little over a year around the time when COVID was happening as well as afterwards. So I didn't really notice the big decline of fast food. But yeah, it's on a super decline. Portion sizes are smaller, quality is worse. Service is worse. And you pay more for it. Like a lot more. Not even like slightly more. And the worst part is they still pay like nothing if you try getting a job at them as well. They always stay close to like the bare minimum that they could possibly ever give. So it's not even worth working there either. Like everything about them is just awful. Wendy's got those napkins though. I was just looking to check to see if I still have any Wendy's napkins near me. I sometimes keep a stack. Just so I can buy less paper towels. Honestly, that is one of the best menu items that Wendy's still has these days. They actually do have some killer napkins. Especially for the price of free. If I ever go to Wendy's these days, I go there with a coupon to get something that would normally cost like $8 for free. And then stockpile on as many napkins as I can get without it being sketchy. What medals am I running with this team? It should be 20% mana start into 8 magic. If I'm actually running that or not is a question, though. But it should be 20% into 8 magic. Because we can't run 50% Essentia. And yeah, we are. Just making sure. We got 28 minutes left. And we've done about 10,000 so far. A little under. We still got another 28 minutes. So we're making pretty good time. They were on track for about 15,000, 16,000. Yeah, it's pretty insane how much fast food has gone up I never really felt the impact as much because I went like a year and a half with no fast food. But, and then even after that, when I was doing fast food, it was mostly just like super coupon stuff. But yeah, a lot of things have just skyrocketed in that regard. Like a lot of times these days, even if I do want to get like something fast food related, I don't even go to a fast food place, like quote unquote. I would actually go to like something like Domino's, which is basically fast food, but you know, alternative fast food, because they normally have like deals where you can get stuff for pretty cheap at any given time, like effectively like $6-7 for something not too bad, and that's enough to hold you over as a meal. Whereas the average fast food place like McDonald's, Burger King, anything like that, like you could go there for $15 and still barely have enough food to feel full. It's kind of insane. Also, I haven't seen any of those really good coupons from Wendy's recently. They used to send them quite often, and now I haven't been seeing them. Because they had some pretty good ones. That could easily more than half the cost of a visit. Do I need Barkley? I don't think I do. I'll go check real quick. I don't believe I do, though. Oh, I do. Never mind. Thanks for mentioning it. Wait, I actually do need it. Hold up. We actually do need Barkley. Oh, wait. I'm using the old meta team. Boo. What is this team? What am I looking at right now? Let me go fix our team. Also, luckily, we can still use overboost here. Just not giving us PvP rating. That's fine. Where's the good team? There we go. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. I didn't actually realize I needed Barkley. Whoops. There's still 4 copies short. I could have sworn I had this thing maxed for a while now, but nope, still need a couple copies. Yeah, it's like night and day. The difference between Leprechaun and 3 Takashakas is actually kind of insane. Like, Leprechaun always felt quick, but it's actually slow. Who could have guessed? We are getting, like, increasingly closer in this game to a point where better options can't even exist. Like, we're getting really, really close to that point. Where it's almost impossible for better things to come into the game. Like, they can be categorically better, as in, like, for a wild folk restriction or something similar. But as far as being able to use any team, there is very little wiggle room to physically win quicker. Like, we're running out of options that could even speed up a battle anymore. Beyond what we can already do. There we go, we got the pet. Hopefully we get like 4 copies here so we don't need it again. Come on, 4 copies. Where is it? 4? 1. Boo, we got minimum roll. Alright, let's go finish out the rest of them now. Got like 23 minutes more. And we're currently at 17,000. So we did almost 10,000 so far. Which means, yeah, this is close to 16,000 if we just camp this the whole time. Which isn't too bad for green. Which means the other team we were doing earlier was definitely easily cracking 18,000 an hour. If this team is about to crack 16,000 effectively. Despite being slower. Let's see. They took the patties from the Big Mac and chopped it up to make 2 out of it. Yeah, pretty much. It's so much smaller than it used to be. And while they don't have the item anymore, I remember the fruit parfait as well. They were so gigantic when they first came out. Like, they were almost as large as, like, their current milkshake size. And then they just kept shrinking them and shrinking them. And by the time they eventually discontinued them, they were almost like a yogurt cup than a yogurt, or not even a yogurt cup, like more like a yogurt bowl, like a little small, like little yogurt bowl, than like a full-fledged cup compared to what it was. Like, if you took the original one and put it to the smallest size they had before they discontinued the item, I'm pretty sure it's a 5-time size difference for the same $1 price. Yeah, honestly, there's pretty much nothing at McDonald's I like anymore. They got rid of basically every item I like. They got rid of the strawberry pies. They got rid of the wraps, which were really good. They got rid of fruit parfaits, which I had a lot during college. Because you could buy it for $1 and then go fill it up with soda and or water. And for $1, you just got yourself a healthy fruit and water. Or soda, or tea, or anything. It was a very efficient $1. Yeah, shrinkflation's kind of insane. The worst part about shrinkflation isn't even, like, stuff getting smaller. It's stuff getting smaller while getting more expensive. Which is, like, the absolute worst part of it. Like, if stuff was just getting smaller and it was still the same price, like, if McDonald's still had, like, a full-fledged $1 menu, but everything was just a bit smaller, then it's like, okay, I guess that's understandable. Because you're just shrinking to inflation. But when you're shrinking stuff and then also, like, doubling its price, that's when it's a bit of a problem. Like, shrinking something to maintain its price isn't necessarily bad. Assuming you actually maintain its price and then just don't just, like, multiple times its price. Because at that point, why didn't you just keep the full-size item and just charge a bit more for it then? I know, 2 HP. I know. My team. Come back. Oh, it's only a tangle. Whenever I see Entangle over top of something, I just think, oh, it just got hit by Elementalist. Now it's frozen and stunned and everything. But I keep forgetting, there is just an Entangle mechanic in this game. It's not always paired with Elementalist. It's just almost every Entangle you see these days comes from Elementalist. So my assumption whenever I see Entangle is like, okay, it's also stunned, frozen, burned. But it's possible to just get Entangled. Just very rare these days compared to before. You have a accounting business degree, but you haven't done it because your morals, ethics, you don't seem to lack. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it's the main thing that got me out of sales. It seems so unethical. Like, it made good money, but it's just, like, so bad. Even things like flea marketing that are a lot, like, more chill version of sales, you see a lot of sketchy stuff go down. Though I do have to say, I do miss the one flea market that was probably the sketchiest of all of them. Just because it was like the wild, wild west of flea markets. And it's an experience that is basically going to be extinct in like another decade, if not already. Actually, that place doesn't even exist anymore either. It actually got closed down to build real estate. They got bought out, and now there's just a bunch of buildings there. On all the plaza land there. But I'm going to miss that place. Because it's one of those like true, genuine... just go there and do flea marketing kind of experiences. It was a lot more laid back than a lot of the other flea markets. And you don't really get that experience these days. For once, flea markets are kind of going extinct. And the ones that do exist are like really formal and like structured. Compared to that, which is just a gigantic mess. But it was a great gigantic mess. What restaurant did I used to work for? Oh gosh, what was it called? I think it was Chopsticks and Forks. It was a single family owned place. I actually got wage theft there. They still owe me like 1,400 or something bucks. Like a little over 1,000. That they never paid me. And then to press legal actions would have been so much more than the amount that I was owed. So I just never bothered. I was also still technically a minor at the time. Because I was like 17, 18 around the time. So I just kind of didn't care by that point. That place closed down after like half a year to a year. They went bankrupt. I would love to get a turn, please. Is that enough for one shot? It is, nice. Oh, we should have, what, 15 minutes on the clock? The final stretch. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Trippy's ready. Well, you check. Alright, what's our points at right now? 20,000, 17, no, 13. So yeah, we're on track for like 15, 16,000 then. Even after going for the pet, which took like 4 minutes or whatever it was. But it probably didn't take that long for pet. Pet's actually really quick now. I wonder what the world record for pet is. It has to be with Stellaric's team, I would assume. Because now that I think about it, pet battle takes under 2 minutes now, doesn't it? To do all 8. Because you can one-shot the first 7. It's only the 8th you can't one-shot. Which means if you one-cycle each one, it would take like a minute and a half. If you clicked very, very, very quickly. And didn't get really long cascades at all. Like on average, it's probably 2 minutes. But you can get a run that's under a minute and a half with Stellarix, probably. The Takshaka, of course. I wonder what the world record currently is. I wonder if anyone's actually posted any new updated ones. We could try for it. We would just have to record every single one. Until we ever do. Put a little timer up every single time. I might start doing that every pet battle we get now. I might actually go check it to see. The only problem with that is you'd have to have really quick clicking and loading screens. Because I'm pretty sure no one recently has really done like a super updated one yet. Because they would have had to have in like the last week or so. Because the team has only existed since a Friday and a half ago. Well, you know, 2 Fridays ago. I should say a week and a half ago. But 2 Fridays ago is when it came into the game. It's literally just a get lucky with Stellaric simulator, though. Or more so, Takshaka. You have to get full mana at the start of every battle. While also Stellarixing. While both of them not getting any additional cascades that would slow down the fight. And if it happens even one time, you'd have to reset like every time. And you can only do 1 pet battle every hour. So it's basically just an RNG machine on if you would get a good run. Because you'd have to win 8 battles in a row without getting any additional cascades. While also every single turn getting full mana on Stellarix. And getting infinite loop Stellarix on the final fight. Because you would need more than 1 cast. I'm actually kind of curious now. I wonder if anyone has updated a thing. I kind of want to go look it up now. Let's see if anyone has actually updated the high scores with a quick run. Because sub minute and a half should be possible now. I think people are already pushing sub 2 minutes. But now that's basically free with Stellarix Takshaka. But a sub 150 is probably possible, or sub 130, I mean, is probably possible. You just have to get really lucky. Maybe even lower than that. But that can't be too much slower. Because each battle by default is going to take at least like 10 seconds or so, if not slightly longer. And you have to do 8 fights, of course. So it's kind of hard to get much quicker than under a minute and a half. So like around a minute and a half is the slow, or the quickest it could ever get. Unless the game ever starts just magically loading quicker. But that loading screen is like a predetermined amount of time. Like you can't load into it any quicker than it already does. You can load slower into it, but you can't really load quicker into it. Because it's not actually a loading screen, it's already loaded within like the second you click on it. The loading screen there is just a fake loading screen. Unless it's going more than once, in which case actually is a real loading screen. But for most people, if you have quick enough internet, it's actually a fake loading screen because it's already, like the second you click it, you're already ready in the fight. All this extra loading bar is not doing anything. Unless it goes more than once, in which case it is. But there's a bare minimum load. So I'm gonna go look that up after we finish this. Might as well. I'm not sure if there's any fresh runs up there, though. Because someone would have to have submitted it, and someone accepted it within the last week. I do kind of want to check. We already know what team it's going to be. I just want to see how quick they got it. You have no problem for the code. How much time do we have left? Should be like, what, 5 minutes? 6 minutes. What's our score at? 22,800. What's that minus, 22,800. 15. Wow, we're still on pace for 16,000? With everything we did? Wow. That means the other team might actually push almost 20,000 then. That's actually kind of insane. That means the other team would push around 18 to 20,000 points an hour. If we're doing over 16,000 with what we're using right now, which is even quicker than the other build, then the other build definitely cracks 18,000 easily. It'd be close to 20,000. It seems weird because that means we'd be winning quicker with them having 50% stats. Though we do have 20 extra magic. But 20 extra magic, I don't know, does that make enough of a difference? Which one is technically higher? Us having 20 magic or them having 50% more stats? Because I never thought about that, but because we might actually get more value from 20% more stats. Because if we're casting twice, 20% more stats is effectively 120 damage more per enemy. Because we're gaining 20 magic, that 20 magic gets multiplied by 3. Or 3.1, whatever it is. I think it's 3, but it might be 3.1. Let's just say 3. So that's effectively 120 extra damage. Are they gaining less than 120 extra durability? I didn't think about that, but yeah, I guess they aren't. They're getting less than 120 durability potentially from having 50% more stats. Because if that is the case, then that's actually why we're winning slightly quicker now. Which might seem weird. That the enemy having 50% extra stats makes us win quicker. But the 20 extra magic might actually outweigh the 50% extra stats. I didn't even think about that till just now, but that might be the reason that it's actually seeming like it's going quicker. Because it actually is. Until we get a battle like this, gosh. I would love to have a turn sometime today, thank you. If he had a loop ability, he'd probably still be going. There we go. Oh, the Discord link is invalid? Oh, you mean the one that Chad posted? I think I have one in the description. Actually, I forget what I even have in my description anymore. There's a lot of things on YouTube I should probably go tweak. Description of this video is probably one of them. I actually forget what's even in the description of the streams these days. I think it has the donation link that doesn't take the 30% cut that YouTube does. As well as, I don't know, let me go check. What's even in my description right now? Let's see. We have the PayPal tip link that basically takes 0%. Yeah, the other tip link, which is monthly, that also takes almost 0. And then the one that takes actually 0, the alternative tip link all the way at the bottom. That's the only thing I have in my description these days. Aw. I forgot, I kind of removed all the other junk stuff and literally just put all the tip links that don't take nearly as much money as YouTube does. Because YouTube takes 30 to 45% of anything we ever make on this channel, depending on what means we make it from. Whereas every link in the description is less than 5%, or literally 0. As far as how much they take, not how much I get. Oh, Marilef didn't... Nothing got full mana there. That's a rare occurrence. Absolutely nothing. Gosh, I'm starting to get so used to that other team. It feels so weird going a turn and then not having full mana instantly the next turn. I'm starting to get used to it. Are we going to run any team without that now? It just feels so clunky. Not automatically having full mana every turn. After having it for the whole week. I think this might be one of our final fights. If anyone knows any other questions or anything you want me to go over, do let me know as well. Make sure to do so before we go for the night. Yeah, even after this PvP grind, we're still going to have to do a lot more, it looks like, this week, unfortunately. Unless everyone had the same idea where they wanted to get all their power grind done today when it was easier. But yeah, we ended up hitting... what would that be then? We started at 7,800. We did go distract ourselves with a pet during that, so we could basically say at minimum we would have had 24,800, probably a bit higher. But let's just say 24,800. So we subtract 7,000. That brings us down to 17,000 then, oddly enough. So yeah, we got 17,000 in an hour, give or take a little bit. Which, that's not too bad for a Leprechaun build. That means Tak Shaka should be way quicker than that then. Like close to 20,000. Because if we're doing 17,000 with that, like easily clearing 17,000, we can easily do 20,000 with the other team. If that team that we just did 17,000. Yeah, it's not too bad. And oddly enough, I think that was leaderboard. Look, we did it! We technically reached our goal. You know what? We gotta do the other one too. I can't not do it. Let's go do a few more. Wait, we're not done yet. Let me go do like 2 or 3 more fights. I can't leave it there. We gotta go get second place. We came this far. Might as well go all the way. Obviously, we're not going to first. Not that crazy. We'll go take second real quick. And hopefully we'll maintain it the entire week. We should only need like 1 or 2 more fights. I think we get like a beefy one here. Ah, of course we'll get just all junk. I might need 3 fights if we keep getting the junk ones. But that will bring us to second place. Alright, we got a good one. And hopefully we see one more big one here, and that will be second place PvP, at least for our bracket. Look up the pet? Which pet? Oh yeah, I wanted to go check that one team thingy. The pet battle thing. Let me go check that. Almost forgot. We do one more fight here because that should be enough. Come on, big score, big score. Not that big, we'll take it though. Alright, it should be the final one we need for second place, and then we'll go check the world record on pet battle. Assuming there even is one. There should definitely be a Stellarix team there. I'm just not sure if anyone has run a Stellarix Tak Shaka team yet. Like, obviously people have, but as far as like posting it to the thing, I'm not sure if anyone has bothered to. Alright, there we go. And that should be second place. Boom, there we go. Nice. 25,000. Alright, anyways. And we're probably not going to bother with the rest of that. Okay, let me go check. I don't even have a thingy open. Alright, well, where's my, wait, there's a timer? What's timer do? Web browser. Let's see. What was I going to go here? Speedrun. Is this speedrun.com? I think it was a speedrun.com. Let's see. Why is this page so broken? Let me just click search. Okay, this page is really, really broken on this browser. Let's see if I can get somewhere. Here's Gems of War. Why is this page so broken right now? Gems of War, search. Hello? Alright, this page is way too broken on this side of the thing. Well, it's because we're using the, we're using it through Steam. And for whatever reason, their browser thing is way out of date. Hopefully they'll fix that at some point. But I'll need to go check it out later. Because I don't have a good way of opening it right now. But yeah, if you just check speedrun.com. Actually, you know what? I'll just go check it right now here. I'll go check. Just check it through this other window. I just want to see mostly what time it is, more so than anything. Like, the actual run itself doesn't really matter too much. It's literally just an RNG machine. I'll go check real quick. Speedrun.com. Okay, this page is not broken. Good. Search bar. Gems of War. Gems of War. Let me go see. Loading, 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 loading. Expiration 12. Someone 6 months ago got it done in 1 minute, 26 seconds. With Diamantina, which is kind of interesting. That means it wasn't even Stellarix. Pet Rescue. Has anyone... let's see. A minute 45, but it's the old Skyla build. It doesn't even use the new Stellarix build. It was a year ago. There was one sent 3 months ago, but it was slightly slower. That also used the Skyla Skull Spam build. Interesting. So whoever's running the speedrun thing, they either haven't been accepting any recently or no one turned any in. Because so far there's no leaderboard for Stellarix. Explore 12 doesn't have one. Pet Rescue doesn't have one. Delve level 500. It was a month ago. In City of Thieves. That one may have been one. I'm not sure. Arena, normal, arena doesn't matter. And then some treasure hunt ones. Which has almost like no one sending anyone in. Yeah, Expiration 12 and Pet Rescue. Yeah, there's still no Stellarix builds up. That's interesting. Of course, it's not a particularly contested game for speedrunning, that's for sure. I was just kind of curious what the quickest anyone might have gotten was. Because you'll need a lot of tries to get like a super perfect run. But sub minute 30 is definitely possible. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys later. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always. 2.5 hours prior to now tomorrow. And yeah, we'll go from there. Hope you all have a wonderful week. I will catch you guys soon. Thanks for stopping by. And definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Oh, yeah, also, I didn't bother claiming these, but yeah, we finished the campaign as well. Might as well claim these rewards as we're literally exiting out here. We grab all this. We grab all that. This doesn't even give us any stats or anything. This is literally just for like those useless extended rewards right now. Because I already have all the other ones. Since we already have the Mythic and everything. Also, if I have time tomorrow, I hope to get the Mythic video out. Just kind of going over the Mythic that we just got last week. Or today, depending on the pass you have. But I do kind of want to cover a video for him tomorrow. Unfortunately, we can't see his true power until we can use 2 or 3 of him. But there's still a couple teams that are okay with him. Nothing like over the top, but still probably cover it just to kind of show it. I'll probably have a video up on Friday going over Loraz's Lair as of the change. Because we're actually getting a new troop that will probably actually be good for Pure Faction for one. Something we don't normally see. It's also going to be the 1,400th troop in the game. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.